Will West Ham's London Stadium get a hammering on accessibility? This is my fourth or fifth visit to the former Olympic Park and now London Stadium, home of West Ham. My beloved Liverpool hammered the irons, but I won't be hammering them on accessibility. I was planning on videos and using my Meta glasses, but we had a bit of a mishap on the journey to the stadium and only just made it to the match. Thankfully, and again sadly, it was easier to pre-book accessible parking at an away stadium than it was compared to Anfield. Conveniently, there was no silly requirement to arrive 90 minutes before the kickoff, like Southampton. So we arrived around 45 minutes before and there was no drama. The only way parking could have been better is to have signposts to each car park. We had to stop and ask several stewards where car park 1A was. Unlike previous seasons where the away accessible car park had a mobile changing places toilets and a direct access to the stadium perimeter, this year it's all changed. To get into the stadium, we had to go out of the car park and then enter into a huge queue of people. We went through a security check where our bags were checked, and then we were able to access the lift up to the outer concourse. From previous visits, I remembered where the entrance was and headed straight there, but the signposting is also very good if you don't know where you're going. On arrival at the entrance to the stadium, my bag was checked, again, less than 60 seconds after it had previously been checked and tagged. What's the point in that? To enter the stadium, wheelchair users go into an airlock with their personal assistant. I was greeted by Kieran Sugden, one of West Ham's accessible steward team. I met Kieran a few years ago and he provided such a good service that I felt the need to send an email to West Ham. Through the internet and the world of Facebook, we became mates. We get to follow each other's respective fanatic travels, supporting our beloved football teams. Despite this friendship, Kieran continued to provide excellent customer service and offered to get us to our seat. I declined his polite offer as I was desperate to get some food. Perhaps I should have asked him to help me get to the food counter, as the way it's laid out is quite difficult to get to. That's probably one of my biggest criticisms about West Ham's away enclosure. As you enter through the turnstiles, the food offering is literally right in front of you, which creates a bit of a bottleneck. The trouble is, this stadium was never designed to host football games. It was designed to host the Olympics. I went for the hot dog, which was £9, and no joke, I've never seen anything so big in my life. It was pretty tasty, and after finishing it, I headed straight to my seat. The view from the accessible seating area is great. Even though people in the row in front stand up, using my permobil wheelchair rise and fall feature, I'm also able to rise myself above and almost be in a standing position. One of my fellow travelling Reds had decided to sit in my space, and despite being asked by the steward to move, she refused to. She was also really rude to the steward, which was completely unnecessary. Like most away grounds I visit, there was a limited number of accessible toilets compared to the total volume of potential users. There was also no change in places facility to be seen. A few other annoying niggles were all the tickets for the match were on my phone. This was me and two personal assistants. When one of my personal assistants needed to go to the bathroom, they had to take my mobile phone to get back to the seat because without it they were not able to enter the relevant section of the stand. Whilst e-ticketing is brilliant, it doesn't really work when a disabled fan and their PA are not on separate phones. And with each PA for each game being a potentially different member of staff, it's not like I can provide the PA details for the ticket to be sent to. Despite West Ham being a pretty built-up area, getting away from the stadium was considerably easier than other grounds. It was a great end to 2024. In fact, you could say it was a 5-star ending. And guess what? The Reds are still top of the league.